guys! I know. It's what the heck moment. I'm turning that down completely. Not completely, but enough that you can hear background music going on. But, yeah. Ugh. The past while, it's been crazy and stuff like that. I apologize sincerely for all this, for well, I did contact you guys last week and let you guys know. I like letting people know and everything else. Unfortunately, I got sick, and then I got sick. Well, I had both times I was sick, apparently. So much stuff was going on. I lost a subscriber. Oh well. Snooze you lose. Anyway. And boom. Welcome back, everybody. Yes, we are going to do this and everything. It's gonna be quick and painless. Quick and painless. Just like rip it off fast, like a bad day. So technically today we are actually going to be doing something special. We are just going to do something like this. I really doubt that you'll see it as streaming, but this is actually called warm and cool color variations. Trying to see if I can get it so that you guys can see it. Yeah, like that. You probably yeah, it's buffering, but in the long run, you'll probably see it better because it's yeah. I've been having a lot of issues, and believe it or not, the music and everything just now was having trouble until I found out everything was working. Why wasn't it working? I was trying to figure out why. Look at the top screen pick. I need to what it's doing right now is having a freak out moment because it's doing some uploading and stuff like that. I'm gonna see if I can pause it for a moment for these things. I cannot. Unfortunately, it is gonna be downloading, so if you're watching this and it's buffering, I apologize. But in the long run, when it is out, it's good. Okay, so we're gonna do a quick one today, because when are we not? So today we're gonna do cool, warm colorations. There's no reading on this one. I thought there was, but there isn't. So we're just going to copy what it shows on here, which means we have to do cool and warm. Starting with the Cadmelion, Nitty Cad. I'm putting a little bit on here. Putting that there. You know, it's been raining a lot. I'm going to turn on the light. Either that or just opening the curtains. Giving us some light in here, because I can't really see. Still keeping the curtains closed. I'm not really one for too much light. Okay, so there's been water in here this whole time. Purify that water. You have to have a specific consistency, by the way. Go! So, just to give you guys a heads up, OMFG is no longer on my playlist. I still accept them. The reason why is because I think I told you last week, if you guys remember, that copyright. I haven't gotten any copyright with some of the music that I have right now, but truthfully, I'm gonna have to look for more music that is actually not copyright. I mean, I'd love to keep all the songs on there that I want. It's just, well, what happens if I do become a big YouTuber? Then this stuff would actually be taken by them, and I'm going, true, I'm not using this stuff to earn money. I'm just using this stuff to keep myself going in my artwork. I just want to keep painting. So we'll make a square over here. I'm doing this first before I write anything down. So I put down, yeah, that consistency. Consistency box. So after this, when it dries and everything, I'll be writing on it. And yeah, I have like a little tiny square right there. So it's going to be comparison. I know I have the other version of it, but I want to see if I can redo it. Everything going to go like on here as best as it can, like this. You'll see. It's the final product's supposed to look like this. It looks crud, but I'm trying. Trust me, when I start painting, actually painting, things start getting better. I still have to finish the artichoke one. Okay, so next up is lemon yellow. So before we even think about doing any of the mixing and stuff like that, oh, I almost dropped that. Oh, that was a freak out moment there. So technically, from what it looks like half the time, cadmium yellow looks like if you can add a little bit of red to it, it will pretty much already make its debut as an orange. This one's going to be hard to see. In a certain degree. Giving myself some space in between. I should make the squares bigger. Yeah. I don't think it's the end of the world to make it bigger. So that's yellow. Let me get a little bit bigger square for the it'll look better. I know it looks like it could need some more paint than water. Okay, whatever. It is what it is. I mean, it shows it's not that bad on there. I like how crisp my version is compared to watching it on the streaming, because when I look at the streaming's buffering and it's having issues. But once I found out that it's done with once we're done with the streaming, then all of a sudden it'll just pop up and it'll look just like it does on the thing. Looks like it's it. Yep. You mind if I tell you guys a dream I had last night? I don't know how it was possible, but in my dream, I managed to actually meet up with Ichiro Oda. And he said he was trying to create a new character. And I was in Japan at the time. Yeah, I saw that, but it wasn't that much. I was in Japan at the time, but it was more like, it was my dream to just go hang out in a Japanese garden / shrine area and just hang out there. And I was looking at a koi fish pond where they said there's one of them that's supposed to be a gold koi fish. And so I named the koi fish that was purple in there Luna, because I couldn't find that gold koi fish. All of a sudden, I have no idea where he came from, but Ichiro came out of nowhere. It was like, what the fuck? But I liked how in my dream we actually talked. We had a conversation about, he wanted to see what I was doing, and I was telling him I was trying to paint. I kind of didn't have the inspiration, so I just took a picture of it and I started writing the inspiration down on my phone so I'd remember it later. And he says, when I was younger, and this is Google Translate that I had to use constantly with him. He says, when I was younger, I had a notepad. And truthfully, everybody works differently. But I like it that the phone actually helps me too, because with writing, it can get difficult. But sometimes when I have some inspiration, don't have anything to draw, I just sit there and I use my phone to draw. Because I have, what is it? I think you guys remember one of my other phones I had. I have a pen. Yeah, that was Taz. I'm sorry, I don't know why I like his hands. Anyway, but what I know is that in the dream we were just sitting there talking, and he said he wanted to get an inspiration for a character and all that stuff. And he says, I know he does things differently. He doesn't do it like this, but he said he wanted to go out and kind of see what he can find. And he says, I'll just admit, I found you. And he says, don't get me wrong. He told me that I inspired him for some reason. And next thing you know, he says, we were talking about the fish, and he thought, that's a good name. Luna. But he called it Runa because that's how they pronounce it in Japan. Pronounce the name in Japan is Runa. But that's how he came up with the idea and everything. The idea of new character for the One Piece series. He wanted something inspirational. He liked the idea of having somebody like me, and I told him, when I was younger, other than wanting to be an artist and everything, my dream was to actually be a watercolor graphic novelist. My dream was to be an actress. And I told him that. And he says, really? And he said he was going to make that possible. And I'm sitting there going, what? What are you talking about? And so all of a sudden, after he left, it was like a time skip or something like that. Next thing you know, I get this email that says, we heard that you helped create a character. And it was the character I created. with um, Oda, and next thing you know, yeah, that's just too needs a little bit more water. It was just unexpected that they emailed me and they said Oda was saying that he recommended me. He got my information. He got all the stuff from me and everything. And next thing you know, I was like, I what? I'm I'm confused. What's going on? Because I thought at first this was like one of those prank things for from the email, because there's a lot of scammers out there that like to say, "Hey, congratulations, you made these things." And next thing you know, it's a fake. And I said, "I want to make sure it's real without upsetting anybody." And they said, "No, no, no, we don't blame you because these things can be confusing." And they said that they were inspired by especially how my acting is online and everything else. And I'm going, "That's not my acting, that's me." And they said, "Well, that's exactly the character that we want." And I'm sitting there going, "Huh? What?" I'm confused. And next thing you know, I was just same face, background screen change, and all of a sudden, I'm on the set for One Piece. But then I look up. There's the Going Merry. And I started getting emotional. I cried in my sleep last night because of it. And I ran up to the Going Merry and I hugged it. Everybody's watching me like, "Are you okay?" And I'm going, "You don't understand." But I liked it how he gave me a chance. I was acknowledged. And then all of a sudden, I'm in the show. I meet all the actors. I'm actually a main character now. But it was like, wait, wait, wait. I even had to stop it myself, and I was asking the question as if I was pausing everything. Time out. Shouldn't I be towards the end of the series, or towards further down the line of the series? Because they already said right now they've hit the halfway point of the series, unless they're talking about something else. I mean, the anime itself, they hit the halfway point. I'm going, what? Wait, I thought the halfway point, you don't even know when it happens. And I'm put into the series as Luna right now, into the live action. They said, well, people are being put into the series in specific places now instead of later. And they said the reason why we put your character into this now is because, well, it would make sense since my character, and apparently my character uses magic. My character can actually enchant everybody's abilities to actually make things work. I mean, have you saw my model of Sanji, where he has got flames coming from his legs and he starts destroying everything where he stands and all that stuff. I don't think that would be possible in the live action. So even I believe maybe enhance that power and technique. Same thing with Zoro's. It looks like his is wind techniques or something like that. I'm not sure. Like elemental techniques. And I was thinking, that could answer a few questions. If they're going to manage that in the series, they can make it more decent. But it was like, so that explains why I came in early. Because they wanted to make things a little bit easier and understanding. On top of that, I was actually informed by Oda that he wanted to give me an opportunity to be an actress. And I'm going, I think stage fright just hit me. I don't know how. It was like, oh shit. What am I gonna do? It's not that thick. I'm trying not to thicken this too much. But what I like is that it seems like each character has kind of like their own little hobby stuff, and most of the time their fighting techniques are actually like part of their hobby or their part of what they do. And next thing you know, it's like they actually have, it's not really a hobby, it's part of their dream. I know it's thick, but I tried doling it out a little. But like for example, Sanji, he's got cooking, but that is actually his dream career. That's everything that he wants. Zoro's hobby obviously is napping, and that's all the time. If he's not fighting or drinking booze, he's napping. So he has two hobbies, and that's napping, drinking booze. He's good. The guy is just... I'm surprised he hasn't gotten drunk yet. I think he's like, yeah, I could get drunk. I'm not really... I know how to hold my liquor. He's got experience. It's gonna be like a war constantly with those two. Obviously, you can see Sanji and Zoro are always challenging each other to something. They're always bickering at each other. Next thing you know, they challenge each other to a drink. And all of a sudden, it's like, I love you. They both get drunk, and it's like, God damn it. I'm just trying not to thicken this too much. I'm just trying to make it like in between, not too light, not too dark, but enough that it actually... As I said, I don't want to thicken it too much. Using most of the thickness and actually just drawing it into the middle. There. My god. The red can be difficult. I wonder how the blue's going to be. Because the blue pigment is probably going to be the death of me. But yeah, I ended up being an actress in the thing. And it was so nice to actually meet the crew, but I'm going, that's never gonna happen. I mean, even if I'm going to go to an anime convention and to do meet and greets, I don't think I'll actually meet them, because one of my most recent hopes is that I actually meet Tess Skylar and say, "Thank you for bringing my love to life." But then there part of me that goes, "You're not the real Sanji. You can't do his technique." And I could see him going, "Wait, what are you talking about?" And so I explained to him that even in the intro, and I keep watching the intro for One Piece, and he does, I swear, I think it's called the Flying Bird or something like that. It's, you get on your hands, and you start twirling, and your legs are actually just kicking everyone around you and everything. People say, "Oh, that's the technique," and then they put it into live action. doesn't work. Because that is, they can't do, apparently they can't do it. And I'm sitting there going, well, shit. No one can do it. And I'm going, okay, can Taz do it? Can Taz break the cycle? And I'm going, just wait. I'm gonna give him time. There's a second season. You better do it, you son of a gun. Okay, I'm gonna flat out. You son of a bitch. You better do it. That's my favorite technique that Sanji does. And if you don't do it, you're not the real Sanji. I mean, I know he's probably just learning and he doesn't know how to do the technique. And I'll probably give him until season 3. Because he's still working on his boxing techniques. And all I can think of is, I understand that and I respect it. But please attempt to do it. Please, God. Don't just try and do all these awesome techniques and you're sitting there going, please, awesome technique, the one that I want to see. Because many people say also, it's impossible to do that technique. I've seen TikToks. I've seen YouTube videos. Hell, back when they have Vine, they had those videos all over the place of people doing that technique because they say, yeah, it's actually not that hard to do. Some people can do it. And I'm sitting there going, that's amazing. But I want to see someone who plays as Sanji to do the technique. I have not seen even a cosplayer attempt it. And I think it's because even they're afraid that they're going to ruin the costume. Don't be afraid. Just go for it. What, you're going to rip your pants or something and everybody's going to see your underwear? I mean, can Taz Skylar do the splits? That's the start. Don't get me wrong, Taz is hot, but I don't have a complete fascination of him. To me, it's actually more like, okay, don't listen to what other people say. Always find out for yourself if they are who people say they are. I mean, if he's a gentleman, I would like to know firsthand. I'm that kind of person that'd like to find out. Oh, I thought the cat came in. I was like, what are you doing in here, Fizzkick? I wouldn't want to put him on my pants because it's going to be all hairy. What is that? Now, what's the blue? I hear tiptoeing. What is that? Okay. Someone's whacking the shit out of the wall. I don't know. I think the blue's gonna look better than the reds. I think I'm doing really good so far for one technique that I was going to just run through. But yeah, my character, if I actually had one on the series for Luna, she'd use magic all the time. But her hobby is probably art, because she loves to paint. But ever since Sanji probably mentioned about the old blue, she knows Sanji in my story. She already knows Sanji because she met up with her, found out about her dad. She met with her dad and she they traveled around the world and everything. And when it first opened up, because he wanted to try out his friend's restaurant, the Baratier, uh, they went to the opening and were treated as if they were royalty, apparently. And the one they said they wanted something specific. They wanted someone to cook specifically for their needs because both Luna and her father Vladimir the Storm were actually allergic to oregano. So specifically, every time when they come to the Baratier, they had specifically Sanji cook for them. I know that's a big box. That's a big box of blue. I don't know, maybe a little bit more. But I like how they first met each other and they were like best friends and everything else. This was before he became kind of this womanizer kind of person. But one thing I like about in depth of my little story that I have written is that they've always been friends, and he hasn't hit on her at all. He treats her as a good friend, but he never hit on her until eventually they meet up with each other again when she's on the run and everything else. And this was on the ship and all that stuff, and she discovers that he smokes cigarettes, and his cigarette smoking tobacco and the cigarettes are exactly the same kind of tobacco that her father smokes. Yeah, originally I had it where both her and her father were allergic to cigarettes, and going, no, I should keep it going like that, even though I'm allergic to cigarettes. I'm still gonna have it like that, even though it's in my fan story, and truthfully, it's not gonna happen. They're friends. I mean, what's the problem with friendship? Some people would say, oh, they should get together. Why can't I just add a character that actually wants to be friends with people? So, now, on to the thing. I think this is what she wanted. Because this is a little different. Unless this is too light, and then we have that. But she didn't tell me, oh, this is good. I just redid it and everything. I think this works. I think Monica's already upset at me because of the not getting her art show picture done. Okay, prepare yourselves for some loud noises. It was actually my, what is it? Hair dryer that I was using for this. That's what she recommends. If you need to dry something, use a hair dryer. Here we go. So you make the square. So this will be the replacement. But yeah, I wouldn't mind actually meeting even the whole crew if liked it, because I'd love to actually meet these guys. I mean, I'd love to meet anybody, but you know, nothing can ever come of these things because it's just too good to be true. It's mostly just dreams to me, because half the time I have never found myself to exist to people. I want to make something out of life. Kind of hard to do it because it feels like this is actually where I'm supposed to go. It's just be the little tiny ball that I am, like this guy, even though he's bigger than that ball. But that's what I like about Luna. She's kind of a representation of Ionite as well. She accepts her smallness, or how tiny she is. Henceforth, why she acts like a child a lot of the time. And she's a year younger than Sanji. And she acts like a child all the time because she accepts her smallness to the universe and how she's meant to be. Even though she doesn't realize that she's bigger than what she is, because there's a lost goddess that doesn't exist anywhere into the story, well, not storyline, that exists, that pretty much people just dropped out of history and everything because they believed that she was a witch, she was evil and everything else. And I believe that would be that this goddess Rumai was actually, she accepted herself as small. Even though she was a goddess, she always considered herself tiny compared to the entirety of the world. That's probably why she accepted everything, and that's how she became, well, a goddess. But she was probably a child herself. Who knows? Welcome to the coloration of what children's colors are. These are child colors. Playful. Don't worry, I think tomorrow we'll learn the complementary colors. So this will be the new replacement. Strong Christian overtones. One day I might make things, I hope things would be possible, but I hope that I've actually talked to some people at work about it that I hope to meet Taz. First thing they said was, like you'll ever be able to meet him, and when you meet him, he's actually going to be an a-hole to you because you're not pretty. What? Yeah, I have assholes as friends. But I added more yellow or lemon yellow to this, but it seems like half the time it doesn't work. But that does look like a yellow. I ever do meet him, I hope he's not what everybody says he is, though. I don't think he is. I mean, he seems like a very nice guy whenever I see him on the videos and all that stuff. It's kind of like Robin Lord Taylor, and they say the same thing. Oh, he's an asshole. What? He doesn't look like it. He doesn't act like it. Well, he's a villain all the time. Most of the time when people play as certain parts, they are not as what they show. They're not an asshole. Do not assume. Unless they're just trying to piss me off. There was no I in there. Bullshit. Lizarine. Whatever. So, reminder. There's no I in alizarin. Apparently I screwed up from there. I need to read the labels. I believed what I once wrote. But oh well. It's still the same thing. We know what it is. I can't read that at all. At least you can read it better than this. So. At least you can read it better than this. Yeah. Probably hard to tell because I think the camera has different things because it makes all the hues look identical. However, if you actually, or it makes all the colors look identical. However, if you just give it a chance and you look at it after getting these colors and everything else, you can see that they're not all directly the same. Anyway. This is technically how to do it. I'm still working on getting the printouts and stuff. I've been so super duper busy and everything else. I have so much stuff that's going on. What the frick is this? I will only do it when I get a chance. That's just part of how I set things up. I'm just gonna put that there because what if I find out it's actually part of something? Anyway. I gotta get off though. I don't have much to talk about. I'm just... Every time I start doing this stuff, I always have like those things I want to talk about where it's like, I wonder, will this be possible? Can that happen in my future? This is what happens when I paint. Where I'm sitting there going, anything... I'm sitting there going, I will make it happen. And then all of a sudden it falls through because reality hits you in the face. I'm trying to do something to make my life worthwhile, and I am tiny. What can I say? I'm very tiny to the universe. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I'm not pointing at me because I look like crap and I just woke up. Anyway, thank you guys for joining me on this awesome episode. Please leave a like and a comment down below on what you think, even though it's just an art episode and nobody really wants to see how this goes and everything else like that. I don't know. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I just woke up. But I know I am. Because reasons. I'll explain to you next time, probably. If I can. Hugs and kisses. Hi, guys. And let us hang out in the next episode.